We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast, while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Now get a sausage McMuffin, sausage biscuit, sausage burrito, or hash browns. Choose 2 for $2.50. Enjoy a large iced coffee for just $2. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in my thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We had a week off, and now we're back, and we're excited to be here. Before we get started, let's say hi to my super handsome, cool, outrageous man about town co-star.
Now, what is it you want from me?
Nothing.
Oh, well, those sweet words. I thought something. We had a very exciting week. We went to our dear friend Sue Wong's 39th birthday party. Well, she said she's 39, and I wasn't going to disagree with her. I said, you know, Sue, I'm going to do 39 also. So now we're counting backwards because going ahead's not so pleasant. It was a fabulous party that Sue always throws, a fabulous party. The decorations were gorgeous, the flowers, the people, the gowns, the models, the music, the room, the mansion, the food. What can I tell you? You had to be there to see it, to enjoy it, and we always do because we're always invited to Sue's parties.
We had a blast, and actually our second guest today, Dustin Quick, who's a supermodel, and Medi M, her husband, who's a phenomenal musician, and they're both actors, and we actually originally met them at Sue Wong's, and they're going to be our second guest today. Our first guest is Steve Cardenas, who's the Red Ranger and like almost all the Power Rangers stuff, and he's calling in from the UK. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm a big Power Rangers fan, and
Power Rangers, who's in that?
You don't know anybody in it, probably.
It's not our friend John, right?
Who's John? No,
he's in the English television.
No, but because it's not an English show, it's an American show.
Oh, you have a doll now, a Power Ranger.
I've always
doll.
had the doll.
Oh, okay. Well, who's our friend John? What's his name? Who's it? Dr. No or something?
Oh, that John Barrowman. No, that's different.
John
that's
Barrowman.
Doctor Who. That's Doctor Who.
That's not Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's not Doctor Who. We also got the chat room filling up. What's up, chat room? Cindy Lady Lake is in the house. Dawn Hinton is in the house. She said she loved all your pictures from the party.
Thank you.
Boomer Mays is in the house. Hub Reynolds is in the house. What's up, Hub? Backpack John is in the house. We're gonna have a fun show for you guys today. We had a lot of friends at Sue Wong's, Marcel Waltz and Joe Netter and Sarah French and Marcel's husband, Dom.
It was a great crowd. Now, Jimmy and I decided to buy a Tesla. So we go to the Tesla dealer and we sit down and we purchase a beautiful red Tesla. Too much money, but that's what they go for. And that's an electric car, so we will save on gasoline. My little Audi just fills up with $93 to fill up my little sport car. I mean, come on, give me a break. $93 for a sport car? Anyway, the guy is showing us the screen. It's a big computer screen. And he's saying, you do this to do that. You do that to get this. You get this, you get that. You touch the telephone. You talk to your telephone, the door's open. You do this, the car starts. You do that, the car goes. If the car's in trouble, the car controls itself. If you fall asleep, the car automatically drives. If you touch this and that. When we left, I said to Jimmy, did you understand a word of what he said? And Jimmy said, no. So why on earth are we spending all this money to buy such an exclusive car when we don't know how to run it? We own a BMW right now, which is half gas, half electric, and Jimmy still doesn't know how to run it. When I call my friends in New York while we're driving into LA, which is a 2-hour drive from Palm Springs, I like to put it through the car so I can hear better. Jimmy doesn't know how to do it. We have all those features in the BMW. We also have the feature where it changes seating for each driver, like Ron's seating, Jimmy's seating. He doesn't know how to do it. So we own this very, very high-tech BMW, and he doesn't know how to use any of it. I don't bother because my Audi TT Roadster convertible, bright yellow, I just turn a key. I press the gas pedal and I go, and it's a pleasure. There's no baloney to do with the computer crap that I don't understand because I still can't run my cell phone. So now we're going to have a beautiful red Tesla that we're not going to be able to drive
Yes, we
because
will.
you don't know how.
I'll figure it out.
Well, it'll take a month or 2 or 3, and then maybe he'll get it to go forward. Then he'll have to wait another 3 months to find out how to go backward. And I mean, really, do we need all of this technology in an automobile?
I need not to pay $93 to fill up a gas.
Yeah, but you need not to pay $75,000 for a car either. I mean, before you get back your money's worth in gasoline, it's going to be a lot of years.
That's
But
okay.
anyway, thank the Lord and good fortune that he can afford to do it. So to buy that car. I love the fact that it's red.
Yes, I will sing and rap in the Tesla. They're asking me if I'll sing and rap in the Tesla. I'm saying yes.
Not with me in the car.
Yeah, only when I'm by myself.
No,
'cause
no.
I have to have a separate phone to record it.
No, I was in the kitchen making breakfast, and I thought Jimmy had a stroke or a heart attack. And I quickly ran into his office and I said, "Are you okay? I heard you in pain, screaming." He said, "No, I was singing." I said, "Oh, okay. Warn me the next time."
My
you
singing
sing."
video got hundreds of thousands of views on Instagram.
I know that, if you mooned everybody, you'd get 1 million views. That doesn't mean your ass is talented. I mean, let's talk frank here, kiddos. Anyway, the car is beautiful. It's red. We Italians believe if you have red, you can't get the malocchio. Malocchio is the evil eye from jealous people who wish you harm and don't want you to have nice things. So if you drive red and anybody wishes bad on you, it goes directly back to them immediately. I believe the Greeks have the blue bead, which they believe does the same things. And I think Hispanic people also believe in the red pepper, which is called the ucurno. It's a horn, and I wear one here. I'll show you my pepper. Mine is not a red pepper. Where the hell is it? Here it is. Wait a second. See? It's a horn.
It's an Italian horn.
And mine is gold, and it's encrusted in diamonds, of course. Do you think I was going to wear a cheesy hollow gold horn? Anyway, the car's lovely. The party was lovely. Life is good. Health is good. Sun is out. The weather's beautiful. Please, everybody, if you're down and out and you feel that life is not valuable anymore and you want to end it, don't. Because the clouds go by. You know that. And the sun does shine. And life can be beautiful again. So please, 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 if you think you're going to do yourself in and you want to harm yourself, contact me. We'll chat, because I don't want you to go. I don't want to lose you. I just think it's so sad when people want to commit suicide. We have lost many friends to suicide because they were gay and not accepted by family or society, and they just couldn't go on. But had they waited and saw what has changed, that gay marriage and gay people are so loved by the world, they maybe perhaps would not have taken their own lives.
Okay, so we got it, which is true, you guys. Suicide is not the answer.
That's my thing in my platform. I talk for suicide prevention.
So we have a bunch of people in the chat room joining us. Tristan from Australia has joined us. Dave Hugh, who said it costs $130. He has a Mercedes, and it costs $130 of American dollars.
Or you have a Mercedes, you can afford it. So shut the fuck up.
And
right, that's what I say. About my car's an Audi, and I bitch about $93 to fill it up. who could? Well, you can afford an Audi, you can afford the gas.
Oh, Teresa joined us too. Teresa Sabin from Florida's joined
Hey,
in the
Teresa
chat.
Sabin
room.
in Florida.
I love because Hub Reynolds always writes LM, laughing my CAO, laughing my country ass off. I had to figure out what it was.
Oh, I thought it was laughing my cock off.
Yeah, my cock ass off.
We're going to keep the show clean today because, they keep contacting us about doing a little bit of a reality show. Several people now think that Jimmy and I and the life we live and the friends that we have should be a reality show because we're funny and everybody we know is funny. I mean, look at Richie Rich and Sue Wong. I mean, the characters that we're friends with, they're all super, super famous people and very visible and very different and very bling and blang and wonderful.
But we curse too much.
So I said to this one producer, well, we can do a show without cursing. And he wrote back, prove it.
Yeah, well, nobody will watch it either, I think. Which I want to thank everybody who's been
So
going.
now we're not going to curse anymore on our show. So that what was it, Netflix or somebody
I
that
don't know who
wants
it
this?
was,
One of those people. I forgot who it was.
But either way, we also want to thank everybody who's been going on Apple Podcasts and leaving reviews. It's been my platform every week to ask people to go on Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star review for the show. We've gotten about 642 reviews in the last
Good reviews
in the
too.
last like 6
I
weeks.
have to say, no bad reviews.
And
at all.
so we want to thank everybody for who's going in there. What means cursing, B-Road? That's when we say fuck.
Oh, see now if
They're saying please curse. Oh, Lady Lake did it nicely. She wrote bad words, B.
no now if that, I think what was it, whoever the hell it was, I shouldn't even say because they'll sue me. But anyway, the major network that is interested in us, see, we can't show them this show now.
That's okay.
Or we can edit it. Can we edit?
No, we're not editing it.
You know something, folks?
Yeah, there you go, B. Bad word. Curse means bad
There's
words.
no such thing as a curse word anymore. It's become theater because every movie you see, the F word or the C word is used or the MF word is used. It's become the American conversation. Very few people I know do not curse. In fact, no one I know does not curse. I know very, very I know actors who are quite known to the public. And you would not believe the language on some of them. And the women, especially, the girls have dirtier mouths than the men. It's become a way of life. It's no longer taboo. It's now called entertainment. And so many people love our show because it's real and it's down to earth. And we talk like everybody does in the privacy of their homes. And when I ask a famous, gorgeous, handsome movie star, you hung, everybody loves that because all the women and gay guys want to know. But of course, the guys never answer. A couple did. And I think they got fan mail like they never had before.
There you go.
So size does count, kids. But anyway, our show is a bit risque. It's a bit off the wall. But you know what? We've got 5 million people that come in every week all over the world. I've got 5,000 followers on Facebook, and Jimmy's got God knows how many millions of people that follow all of his venues. So I think we're doing something right.
I'm a little over 800,000.
Okay, so had to brag that one in, right? You couldn't just be modest and sit there with a smile on your face.
And it's building every day. So you guys,
every day, yeah.
So you guys, you can listen to the show because we're going to bring in our first guest. You can listen to the show every week on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, Amazon Prime, and SoundCloud. Those are the main ones. But if you just Google Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, you can actually hear us everywhere because I think we're on like about 160 platforms. So it's all good. And
I don't want to brag, but we've had a couple of weeks ago 1 billion downloads, not million, billion would it be. So we can't be doing something wrong if we have 1 billion people downloading our show to show to other people. I think that says something about our show. So if you're offended by our language, fuck off.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Let's bring in our first guest. Hopefully we have a good connection and everything rocks and rolls.
Well, we're doing England.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going
I was just like
fantastic.
sitting in and listening in on everything you guys were talking about. It's a kid's show now, so watch your fucking mouth.
Well, I mean, Meanwhile, all the women are plugging in their vibrators.
Yes,
'cause
they
you're-
see Steve.
because you're really cute. Hey girls,
Oh,
look, she's a
stop.
cutie.
Oh, do go on.
Now I have to ask you the question: are you hung?
It's short and shriveled and always to the left, but it's there.
That's a new answer. Most guys say, "Yeah, I trip over it." You know.
So hold
Anyway,
on, let's-
ladies, look at this.
Right
guy.
now, it's like a stack of nickels right now.
right.
But it's cold in England.
Oh, is it really? You don't have.
Yeah, it's always cold in England.
No, it's not. I was there in August. I was in London.
Well,
No, I was
August, yeah.
August. It was hot, like here, like it was in New York.
hang
hot
on, we
and
got to
humid.
introduce him.
Oh, okay. Goodbye.
Hey, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the super talented and the super cool Steve Cardenas, also known as Rocky DeSantis, the Red Ranger. Hello and welcome to the show.
What's up? It's Morphin time.
There we go. I love it, dude. Like I have to say, and I have a lot of questions about that once we get going. But we also
Okay,
have-
sure.
Hey, first of all, are you Italian?
No, I'm Mexican.
Oh, okay, because your last name sounded Latin. Of course, Italians. are
Well,
Mexican.
yeah. I mean, I think, no. My character's, my last name is Cardenas, but my
Cardenas.
character's name is De Santos, which I think is also very Latin as well.
De Santos, I know De Santos, and that's Italian also. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's Latin. When you
It's
speak,
Latin,
when
yeah.
you speak Latin, all the names are the same. How did a little Mexican boy from California, I believe, get to England and become a Rocky, whatever you are? What is he?
Well,
What's the
actually, I grew up in San Antonio, Texas, and then I auditioned for Power Rangers, and they moved me to California when I got the part.
How old were you when you did that?
Well, wait a
Yeah.
minute. Wait, you transmit from California or England?
No, he's in England now.
When do you? Wait a minute. I'm
He
very.
doesn't know the Power
Listen,
Rangers. I do.
I'll be
That's
80
okay. That's
I'll-
okay.
Power Rangers isn't on that anymore.
I'll be 82.
He doesn't do the Power
in
Rangers
two,
anymore.
In 2 weeks, another month, I'll be 82. So
Holy
brain,
Moses!
well, the
Yeah.
brain cells are going. So bear with me.
He doesn't
wait a
do the
minute,
Power
wait.
Rangers anymore. Now he lives in the UK
Why don't you do the Power Rangers?
because it's not on anymore.
Well,
him.
well,
Let
actually,
me hear why.
yeah, no. Well, the show still airs. It's been and next year it'll be 30 years that it's been airing nonstop. And so the show started in 1993, but I was on the show from 1994 to 97. That's when I did my stint on
long
the Power
time.
Rangers. Yeah, so it's been several years. It's been a couple of years, but the thing is that oddly enough, like the fans, they're all grown up now, but they still love the show, and they still come out to Comic-Cons and greet us and get autographs and things like that all the time. I mean, we're constantly touring and traveling through Comic-Cons and comic events. Yeah, that's the Power Rangers movie. That's me right there. That's my action figure.
I collect action figures of everybody who's been on the show, and so
I brought
oh
this
my
on there
god,
so people
look
can
at
take
that!
a look.
That's so awesome.
He just blew a fuse.
I love that shit so much.
Now wait a
Yeah.
minute. What made you decide to live in England?
Well, this is where my wife is from England, so I moved here to be with her.
Oh, she didn't want to come to the States. Smart woman.
Right? Yeah. No, she's British, and she's a doctor. She's a research scientist here, and so she has a big important job here, and so she couldn't come to the States right now. But not to say that we might not move back to the States in the future. But for now, her contract and her job keeps her here for life.
I know England well. Where do you live in England?
I live in West London.
Oh, nothing. That's shabby.
Yeah, it's nice.
Not very shabby, West London.
It's expensive too.
You bet.
But if you're used to living in Los Angeles or New York, that's just as expensive there. So I
actually,
lived in LA for like 25 years, so you learn how to
San Francisco was written up as the most expensive place to live.
yeah, San Francisco's incredibly expensive.
The
yeah.
most expensive of all. But I love England. I go often. I have a good friend there, James Jessup, who owns a wonderful estate down in Lancashire.
Okay.
And he's got his own castle, his own church is on the estate with the castle.
Oh
And-
wow.
Oh yeah, and when you go into the church, there are coffins with these medieval warrior soldiers that are the original. It's a historical, beautiful town, Lancashire.
Oh wow. Sounds
Have
amazing.
you ever been?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Lancashire?
I don't think I've been to Lancashire, but I have been all over England because I
They-
tour
they
around doing these
film-
Comic-Cons and all over. So I've been to like some very odd corners of England for sure.
Well, so many films have been made in Lancashire because of its scenic beauty. It's a
I'm
lovely,
sure.
I love it there, and I love London. But London is getting a little New Yorky for me. A little
Yeah,
L.A.
it is big city, for sure. But
Well, no,
you can
the crappy.
drive an hour out of the way, and it's like rural as
Beautiful.
can be.
No,
Yeah.
I don't like what the shitty people that have gone to these cities have done to it. Some of the low class common garbage that's moved to New York, London, and I mean even in
We live
Paris.
in Palm Springs. We don't live in LA. We
No,
go to
by the
LA
way,
all the
I
time.
I saw graffiti in Paris. I mean, who
Right.
who the hell would write "merde" in French on the monuments? I mean, I just can't
Yeah.
stand it anymore. Why people want to do that?
I don't know. Some people in the world just can't stand to see nice things, and
I
that's just
believe
the
it.
way it is. But I can't really speak to that. But it's just what it seems like to me.
In the chat room, first of all, say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hey guys, how are you guys? Thanks for
Uh,
tuning in. Appreciate you guys coming out. I
Dave-
can't
Dave
see
Hughes
any of the
actually
chats coming up, but
Dave Hughes says he DJs at the Blackpool Tower in Lancashire, and B. Claudia says you were at the German Comic Con in Dortmund.
oh yeah, I did the German Comic Con a few months back, man. It was great. I liked it over there.
We love that. We love that. So, okay, so we have a great chat room. There, we have really great people who love the show, and so I want to I want to talk a little Power Ranger stuff. First of all, I met
Okay.
you originally one of the very first Comic Cons I ever went to. When I was just starting out as a clothing designer, actually, this is a long time ago, and it was in
Okay.
Orlando. It was called MegaCon, and you were there
Yes.
with you and Jason David Frank, and I'm sure everybody else were, but you were the two that I was all excited about.
Well,
was-
I think I know which one you're talking about, and this was several years ago, right?
This is you're talking
it must have been like 2009, maybe, right?
No, way even before that, I think.
Well,
Listen.
I didn't start doing cons until about 2008, 2008.
we were
So it
right
had to
at the
be around then.
beginning then.
But there
Okay.
was a show in Florida that Jason David Frank and I did. It was called FX Con at the time.
Yes,
and I
I've been
think
to that
maybe they
too.
switched
Okay,
it
now
from there, but
hang on, boys. Do me a favor. Say you remember him so he won't pout all day.
Oh, he doesn't have to
Yeah,
remember
make
me.
believe. Say I remember you.
I
Jimmy.
would
No,
love
see-
to say that I
He means
remember
about
you, but
No,
I,
no, no,
50,000
no.
people a
Listen,
weekend.
listen.
You know.
Lie. Say I remember you. You were that.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, Jimmy. Yes, of course.
That
of course.
outrageous faggot.
Yeah.
We're married, by the way, so we could do that.
Dressed
each
like
other?
a moron. Yeah, dressed like a moron. He used to dress like stupid. back
No.
in
So
those
you guys
days.
look. So this is one of my. I have thousands of action figures, literally in my office. So you guys, this is from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, and this is his action figure.
Yeah.
And one of these days we'll meet him, and he's going to sign it because everything in my office is signed. But
Oh, absolutely. Without
Would
a
you
doubt.
Would you live in California if you came back?
If I came back, most likely would probably move back to California. Yeah.
Why not Houston?
Well, I mean, hey, Texas is great as well. I mean, like I said, I
Houston is
grew up in Texas.
Beautiful. Houston.
Yeah,
is beautiful.
and it is great. But I don't know. I mean, I've lived several places, and California is pretty tough to beat if I'm going to move back. But I think I'm probably going to be here for a while.
Well, if you move back to Los Angeles, bring a tent and live in the street. Everybody else is.
so okay, so I want to go to the Power Ranger stuff because everybody in the chat room is asking questions
Of
too.
course. Fire
So
away.
first of
Fire
all,
away.
okay, so how did you actually get that gig? You said you auditioned. You lived in Texas and you auditioned for it. Were you like a karate person ahead of time?
Yes, I was. Yeah, I've been doing martial arts since I was 12 years old, and I was a big fan of anything martial arts on film. So I used to watch all the old kung fu theater shows, and I used to watch just anything martial arts movies, Jean-Claude Van Damme, all that stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah,
used
I
to
love
watch all of that, back in the day. But I had no aspirations to be, a martial artist on film or an actor or anything like that. But I was a martial arts instructor. I was teaching kids at the time. My job was teaching kids. I used to do that after school when I was in high school, and then into my 20s, I was teaching as well. And I had a friend who had a pizza shop, and I was listening to the radio in there. We were just hanging out one afternoon, and a commercial came on the radio. And this was in Dallas, Texas, by the way. when I was living in Dallas. And they said, hey, if you know anything about Power Rangers, or if you're a martial artist or a gymnast, which I was both, they said, we're looking to hire some new Power Rangers. So if you want to come try out, come down to the local TV station in downtown Dallas and try out on this day from this time to this time. And my friend looked at me and was like, bro, that seems like it's right up your alley. I go, yeah, maybe. Because I was familiar with the show because it had already been on for a little while. And I was a kid, as you know, I was teaching martial arts to kids. So kids were always joining up because of Power Rangers, and they were always talking about Power Rangers. So I was like, let me see what this show's about. What is it? And I started watching it, and I was, and I started getting into it. And then as I was watching it, I would see all these guys doing their stuff. And I'm like, I could do that. I could do that. Never dreaming that I'd ever get this part. But when this commercial came on, I was like, is this for real? So I went and I called the local TV station, the local Fox station, and I said, are you guys holding auditions? And they said, yeah, it's down at this area on this day. Come on down and try out. So I get there, and there's like 5,000 people in the parking lot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And I just said to myself, oh, God, there's no effing way. There's no way I'm going to get this part, So I went and
as in fucking
as in no fucking way. Right. Exactly. And so I went before him, and it was like American Idol. You know what I mean? They had three little judges sitting at a table, and they were just herding people in one at a time. You get 30 seconds to show them what you know how to do. And so I just put together a little martial arts kata like routine when I mixed some little gymnastics in it and stuff. And I did my routine. They're like, okay, great, thanks. Don't call us, we'll call you, type of thing. And so I didn't hear anything for a couple days, but then they called me back, and they were like, hey, we really like your audition. We want to fly you to California to meet the producers. So there's a plane ticket waiting for you at the airport. Just go to the airport in the morning and be prepared to show your stuff. So I was like starting
exciting, right? You were like excited.
This could be real. This could be real. So I went to the airport. I picked up my plane ticket waiting for me at check-in, and I got on the plane, took a flight from Dallas to Burbank, landed in Burbank, and we went right to Saban Studios, went right up into their executive boardroom, and they had to like basically move the big desk back so that we had space to do our audition. And I just showed them what I knew how to do. And then, like the next day they were just like, okay, congratulations, you've got the part. And so
did they tell you were going to be the Red Ranger then?
No, they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me that right off the bat. They said, you're going to be one of the new Rangers. Congratulations. Oh, and by the way, you can't go home because we have to start filming right away, because we need a month and a half to put as many episodes in the can as possible to introduce your character, because in a month and a half's time, we're going to Australia to do the feature film, which is also going to be upcoming. I was like, what in the hell is going on with my life right now? What just happened to me? It was all in the span of 4 days, from the day I went to my audition to the day I got hired. And like I said, I couldn't even go home. We had to start filming the next day. So they said, can you just have your clothes mailed? So I had to have my clothes shipped to me from Texas to California, and everything began. And then my whole life changed after that. It was
that's very
crazy.
Exciting, but I have to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I was contacted by them, and
Yeah.
they said they were firing you and replacing you with me.
Oh, really?
That they thought I was the better choice and I would do a better job. And then my alarm clock went off and I woke up.
Right. Well, I think they had that mentality of like the Johnny Bravo, just anyone who fit the suit. They didn't care that much. You know what I mean? So
I've been cast in a few of those too.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's like so much fun though, and that's funny that you said it that way. They have to get as many in the can, because when you came on, you said you were on it from 90. When were you on? 94 to 90.
we started on the show in 94. Yeah.
And how many years was it?
7, 4.
No.
94, 95, and 96. And
So
I
in
did
3
my last
years-
in 97. Yeah.
Because you shot, so you guys, this is some of the, so he was on 71 episodes of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then we have Power Rangers Zeo, he did 50 episodes, Power Rangers
Yeah.
Turbo 3 episodes, Power Ranger Ninja Steel 1, so that's 120, that's like 130 episodes in like
Yeah.
3 years. I mean, that's like,
we did a lot of filming. We never had any hiatuses or anything like that. We filmed nonstop.
Yeah, but never
Uh,
bitch about it because it was a paycheck after every show.
well, I mean, exactly. I
You
mean, at
know,
that
I mean,
point,
I
like, what
don't
are you
bitch
gonna do?
about.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I never bitch about working. Never.
happy to be working. Yeah, exactly.
Happy,
So,
happy, happy.
And
Yeah.
part of like such an iconic thing, because there isn't a kid on the planet who doesn't know who the Power Rangers
yeah,
are.
and anybody would have taken that job. There's no question about it. So,
I actually I haven't talked to her lately, but I was pretty good friends with Serena Vincent, who was in 2 of the
oh,
Power Rangers
I know
movies. When
Serena
she's the
Vincent very well.
she's
Mhm.
the Yellow Ranger, and then
Yeah,
we
she
have
was the Yellow Ranger on the TV series of the Lost Galaxy series of
and
Power
I
Rangers.
originally met her at a con, but we became really good friends. As a matter of fact, she's been on the show a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then you guys, some of the movies that he's been in, because there's so many things, I can't even believe all these things. So he's got Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
That was the second one that we
He's
did.
got Power Rangers Zeo Quest, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Ninja Quest, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Alpha's Magical Christmas. So
Yeah.
there's like
And we
between
did a
that and
lot
that,
of specials, and we did but we did do a couple of big feature films, which was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, and then Turbo, a Power Ranger movie. We did both.
they're
Both of those
fun.
were both
Let Jimmy
released
finish.
by 20th Century Fox.
Let Jimmy finish doing your credits. Otherwise,
Ah!
he drops a hard on if he doesn't.
No, I just think it's. I just think. I mean, I was too old for the Power Ranger when the Power. I'm old, you know.
Mhm.
I just liked it because. No, that's well. I mean, that's every Power Rangers thing. That's all the major Power Rangers movies that he's in. Every one.
I mean, I think I'd probably list every single episode on there, so that would probably take a while to
No,
list
good
all of
for you.
those out.
Now, listen, on the personal side, everybody out there wants to know, how did you meet a scientist being an actor? What the hell have you got in common with the scientist?
Well, it's odd, the way life kind of brings you little surprises, I guess. But yeah, no, I mean, I got married really young. I was married really young, and the woman was a little bit older than me. But it was not a good marriage. It was really volatile, and we had a kid together, which is why we got married, and that was probably the worst reason to get married. Oh wow, there's a dog in there.
That's Astro. He's
Oh,
our
hey,
He's
Astro.
our
What's up,
superhero
buddy?
dog.
He's got his tail in the air and everything. That's great. So I had a bad marriage, and then that basically, kind of like turned me off to the idea of ever getting married again. So I always told myself, I will only, be with somebody again if they are willing to not try to ever want to get married, or have any children, because I didn't want to have any more kids either. So it took a very long time to find someone that was okay with all that, plus whatever all the other faults
Things
that,
that go with
people
it.
have. Yeah, exactly. So I was whatever, I was happy to just be single. But I randomly knew I was going to England, and for an event a few years back, and I was looking on Instagram, and I saw somebody had liked one of my pictures, or I had liked one of their pictures, or whatever. And so I saw this girl on Instagram, and I was just like, wow, she's kind of cute. see what her story is. So I kind of like sort of stalked her a little bit on Instagram, and then I just simply said hello to her, and then she answered me back and said hello, and then I let her know that I was going to be doing an event in England in a couple of months, and could we keep chatting with each other until I went to England, and maybe we could meet up and just have some coffee or something like that, see how it goes. And we ended up just hitting it off, and then we ended up talking every single day. And then when we finally did meet, I really just had a pretty good idea that this person was going to be right for me. And and now it's been over 3 years or so that we've been together. And before COVID hit, we used to see each other once a month. We did the long distance relationship, but we would, I would go to England for 10 days, or she would come to the States for 10 days, and we would, really get quality time with each other. And then when COVID hit, we didn't see each other for like 7 months. And it was really difficult.
That sucked.
Yeah. And so I finally just said, I mean, what am I doing here? I can live anywhere because I can do this work that I do with the conventions and acting and everything. I can do it anywhere. So I just said, screw it. So I just moved here, now we're fully together. So
Congratulations.
Wait, hang on. Do you think you'd change your mind and possibly get married?
No, we'll never get married, but I still call her my wife though, because, for all intents and purposes, that's what we are, but we'll never do the certificates or anything like that. I think just in the terms of like what it takes for people to unentangle themselves, if it doesn't work out, is always very difficult and always leaves people with a bad taste in their mouth after. And I've dated other people, and when we finally do break it off, I have nothing but friends. All my exes are all still friends with me, because we just I never want those kind of entanglements, if you understand what I mean.
Absolutely.
Well, we get married in hopes that we don't have to have those bitter ends. But
but everybody hopes that, but 60% of people get divorced.
Well,
what I mean? What's the point? You know what I mean? Like, if you love somebody, why do you got to prove it to the state?
It's not a matter of proving it. I married Jimmy.
See, Ron, you got to remember, Ron's 82, so he's from a different generation.
Yeah,
fair.
I want the feeling of the paper gives me an ownership of his. No, it gives me an ownership of his heart. I own his heart legally. And if you ever left me for somebody else, I'll take him to the fucking cleaners, and you'll never know what hit him.
Exactly. You just made my case for me, my man. You just made my case for me. I will wipe him
out, and when he's living in LA in a tent, I will pass by and piss on him.
See, that's the type of vindictiveness that I just don't want to.
I'm only joking.
Bring myself into.
I have a creative mind, but I never do things
I didn't really think that you meant what you were saying, but but it does prove my point, because there are vindictive people out there.
Well, I was married for 16 years, and my wife and I had a very, very good divorce. She left me the children, and we never saw her again. So what better than that could you have?
Pretty good deal.
I raised my daughters. I raised both my daughters myself.
Yeah.
They're women now, and she never bothered us or came back in our lives. It was nice.
They want to know in the chat room if you're related to Clayton Cardenas from the Mayans. Do you have any siblings that are in entertainment?
No, I am not related to him, but that's a great last name that he's got. It
sure is.
I mean, south of the border, that last name is fairly common, but it's not that common here in the States.
Right.
So
what are the Mayans?
It's a TV show.
The Mayans is a spinoff of the Sons of Anarchy TV show.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of people from that on.
Yeah, the Mayans were the Latin motorcycle gang, and now they've got their own TV show.
Right.
We actually met a bunch of people from that.
I know. Now I remember. It gives me a while to remember.
So, what does your son think about the fact that you're like an action star? Like,
very proud. What do you think?
Does he have your action figure?
Oh, actually, I have a daughter, and she's already
a daughter. Okay, sorry.
And she's already 23 now, so no, she couldn't.
So it's not a big deal.
I don't think she cares less. She couldn't care less.
That's not true. I have a daughter who's 54 and 146, and they are so proud of their dad.
Oh well, I'm sure that there's that element, but I mean, she's not the one who watches the Power Rangers at all.
No,
plays with the action
she's
figures.
proud that her daddy is not like a farmer or a plumber.
I would hope so.
Plumber.
So real quick for everybody, what we're gonna do, Roxy, do you have the Turbo Power Rangers movie trailer? We're gonna play it for everybody real quick.
I want to see it.
So we can have it play. Don't go anywhere, Steven. We're going to talk more because I have lots more to talk about. But I just thought for everybody who doesn't, I don't know who doesn't know who the Power Rangers are.
I didn't know because I'm 150. I'm still from Now Voyager with Betty Davis.
So you introduced the trailer, Steve. That way we can have it in your voice.
Okay, and up right now on the Jimmy Star Show, we are going to see the trailer.
Stop.
Sorry, with Ron Russell. Sorry.
Thank you.
We are going to see, with the afterthought, Ron Russell, we are going to see the trailer for Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Check it out.
There we go.
It's time to power up. The world's most famous action force is back on the big screen. With a secret weapon.
I'm the new Blue Ranger.
What are you talking about? A giant problem. And a whole new way.
Wind Chaser ready to howl.
This is awesome.
just thrill.
Let's rip some velocity.
All right.
Turbo action.
Good thing you don't need a license to drive Zord.
Turbo power. Turbo sword.
Megazord warp sequence is online. Let's shift to the turbo.
That's my man. Wow, cool. Sonny!
Get ready for the ultimate power trip.
What a rush!
Turbo, a Power Rangers movie.
It's funny that you showed that trailer because that was the movie that I was only in for about 10 minutes of the movie, because this is the story. That movie was the story of how my character got written out and replaced.
I played the wrong one then. I just
Yeah, that's okay. It's fine.
good.
It's fine. It's
I
fine.
watched
Yeah,
it
so
all
that's why
the
you didn't even see me in there at all.
Why is it frozen on my monitor and not yours?
I don't know, Roxy. How come we're frozen?
My
We're
monitor.
not frozen on here. We're just frozen here.
My monitor's frozen. Jimmy says.
Oh, it says unmute. What the fuck? I don't even know what's going on.
Well, Jimmy's muted. I don't know if that means we're all muted or not. Okay. Hi. I guess it's now become the Steve Cardenas show. If I could see the chats, then I would be able to answer some questions, but I can't see anything. So, okay. All right. I will keep talking. If anybody has any questions they want to ask, by all means, please feel free.
Hey, and like we were talking to you, and then and then we disappeared.
Well, yeah, I just explained to our viewers.
That's okay. I took over the whole show. You know what I mean?
you
It's
look
now called the
great,
Steve
too.
Cardenas show.
You
It's
look
now called the
great.
Steve Cardenas show.
Everybody has to keep in mind that England is 9,000 miles from Palm Springs, so there's a bit of difficulty sometimes with that distance.
Oh, look, they said
Oh,
Roxy
right.
sounds sexy.
Roxy is sexy. She's available too. Anybody out there want a bride?
Okay, so here's what I want to know. First of all, so did you? Actually, the first question I want to know is: did you see the new Power Rangers movie, the one that came out like 2 or 3 years ago?
2017. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Okay, what did you being like the star of the Power Rangers movies? What did you think of that one?
Well, I thought it was just okay, because I feel like, the Power Rangers, the theme of Power Rangers is that these teenagers with attitude get recruited to take on, the aliens of the universe that seem to be, bent on destroying humanity in a sense, right?
Right.
But this newer movie was sort of like, the Breakfast Club. All these kids get thrown into detention, and that's how they meet. So they're already kids that are a little bit bad as it is. And I think so. It's supposed to be teenagers with attitude, not teenagers with angst. So I feel like that was a part of it. And the other thing too is Power Rangers is all about action. And this movie was very slow. It took a long time to get to the action. It took a long time for them to come together as a team. I feel like they could have made all of that happen a bit sooner in the movie, because then you get to the action where there was only about 10 minutes of action at the end of the movie. And the rest of it was them struggling between themselves, which is okay. But I mean, it keeps on the message that everybody needs to learn how to come together despite their differences, which is also a big theme of Power Rangers as well. And in that sense, I guess they did okay with it. Cinematically, it looked pretty good, but the visual effects, the Zords, I didn't like the way the Zords looked, the robots that we manned, and I didn't like the suits that much. So there was a few things they missed the mark on, and the big thing they missed the mark on was the cameos. They should have had everyone who had ever been in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers old movie and in the TV show. They should have had cameo parts in there, even if it was parts where we were just like maybe the grocery clerk or the store manager, or, somebody that worked at
the parents, though. You guys could have been the parents
or anything. They missed major opportunities, and the fans were very upset by that. And it showed. Right.
And it didn't well. And it didn't do well.
This is the new Hollywood.
Yeah.
Years ago, Hollywood wrote stories to take you to fantasy. Today, they have messages and bring us to reality. We don't need to have reality because we have CNN and all that reality. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they just missed a few opportunities there. And now that Hasbro has bought the franchise, I think they're planning on remaking the origin story again and taking it further from there with a saga, so to speak. But I hope they do it right. I hope they listen to the fans and do it right. Who knows if they will?
I like the actors that they used. I thought the actors were pretty good,
Yeah,
but I agree that the action wasn't all that good. It took way too long for them to all come
Right.
together,
Mhm.
and it didn't really, and also the fact that they were all kind of like troubled kids, really, which it ended up being cool because they came together and everything, it felt like it missed the mark on that too, because the Power Rangers is all about like
Right.
good and evil,
Yeah.
and you
I
guys
mean,
are like taking
like
care of the
these
evil.
Power Rangers, I mean, when they say teenagers with attitude, it's really more, the Power Rangers were good kids. You know what I mean? They were
Right.
already good kids. You know what I mean? And then that's what made them worthy of being able to
Be a Power Ranger.
to don the suit in the first place. And these guys were just a bunch of troublemakers, in my sense, in my mind. The only person who was actually really brilliant in that movie was RJ Seiler, who was the Blue Ranger. And his actual character was, in my opinion, stole the entire movie. He was actually really good. And I know that it was kind of interesting because his character was also like had Asperger's or autism or whatever. He was a little bit autistic. So that's what made him such a brilliant,
Oh
brainy
yeah, he
type
was
character.
great though.
But his character, in my opinion, and his acting was phenomenal. So I liked him the best out of all of that.
One of the girls, I don't know her name, but we saw her the other night in a new Netflix series. She was
Oh man.
in a new Netflix series with Michelle Dockery and
Wonderful series.
Sienna Miller, and she was
Loved
like,
it.
she was in it, and she's like really blown up. Since doing that film, she's like totally like blowing up.
Yeah.
Since you brought up the Michelle series, I suggest everyone watch it. She
I forgot
plays
the name of it.
she
Anatomy of a Scandal. It's called.
and she plays
Oh,
a
Anatomy of a Scandal. Okay.
she plays a barrister in England who is defending. Well, watch it. It's twisty and wonderful. And Michelle Dougherty,
Interesting.
she's my favorite
That's his
actress
favorite
in the world. I love and adore her. Her acting is beyond brilliant.
Do you know who Michelle Dockery is? She's from Downton Abbey. She's like
She's
legendary
beyond brilliant. You should work with her
Have you
one
met
day.
her? Have you ever met her?
I have
No.
not. I have not.
Get to work with.
Not to my recollection. I have
Get
not.
to work with her. She is wonderful.
So besides the Power Rangers too, I noticed lately you're doing some other stuff on your IMDb. You had a movie called Beast of the Water and another one called The Order.
Yeah. Beast of the Water was sort of like this little independent film that we did. And we filmed it outside of Nashville, Tennessee. And it was written by I don't know if you guys ever saw the makeup show Face Off.
Yes.
Did you guys ever watch that series?
Yes, we have a friend who was on it.
Yeah, one of the winners of Face Off in one of the seasons, he was the director, and he wrote this movie, and he actually created the creature for this movie. So the movie is sort of like Predator. You've got these corporate mercenaries that are kind of like being hired to accompany this research doctor to try to find some kind of ancient artifact in the Native American, off some Native American reservation or whatever. And little did we know that this land is protected by some creature that basically takes on the form of water, but then turns into like an actual physical beast. And the guy that they had inside that suit was 7'7". And then when you put the whole suit on, the thing, he was over 9 feet tall. And so it was no digital effects. It was all practical effects. It was all creature.
We do a lot of that
effects,
too.
and it was incredible, man. And I enjoyed doing that movie because I got to be somebody that was a completely different character than whoever Rocky was. This guy smoked cigarettes and carried a machine gun and cussed like a sailor, and and just was all in all in general an asshole, And
which I think is cool though.
Like that. Yeah, it's fun to play that.
I think it's. I think that for so many years you've been. Everybody knows you as like Rocky, but you're an actor and you can do anything now. So it gives you more opportunities to do.
Yeah.
Like would you like to be an action star?
I don't want to be a star at all.
Well, an action actor.
Yeah. I would do that kind of stuff, but for me, it's like I'm more a little bit about like bit parts. I don't want to be like super famous or anything like that. It's cool. Just I like to do little bit parts here and there, and I like to do that to give back to the fans that I have now that want to see me in other things. Because ultimately, for me, it's all about going and doing these events that I do, the Comic Cons. I travel the world doing them, and for to be able to give back to these fans that have stayed so loyal for the years, I like to try to do little things, that they wouldn't normally see me in. So I don't have aspirations in any way to be like, one of those actors that's out there doing films constantly and stuff like that. I would be much happier just doing little bit parts just for fun, and that's
So
sort
wait
of
a
my
minute,
headspace.
you wouldn't be happy getting $20 million for
I'm
a
not.
film?
Nobody's saying that. I'm not saying that. But nobody's going to be off. No producers are offering those kind of roles to me. You know
You
what I
never
mean?
know.
So
You never know.
fair.
Listen,
You do
I
never
knew.
know. But
Hang
I've
on,
been in the
hang
game
on.
for a long time and hasn't happened
Listen,
yet.
wait, quiet.
I'm
I
sorry.
knew Angelina Jolie when she was Angie Voigt. She's my daughter's friend. They
Mhm,
grew up
mhm.
together in school. And I asked Angie when she was about 7, "You want to be an actress?" And she went, "I don't know." And look at it today. So, my friend, you don't know.
Well, fair.
Tomorrow,
But there's a difference between 7 and 47. And
no, but wait a minute.
You look great,
wait a
though.
minute.
Thank you.
Tomorrow a part may come your way that'll make you an overnight sensation. That's the crazy part of our wonderful business.
You're absolutely right. And
So think
and here's
positive. Think
yeah,
positive
no, here's
always.
the thing. I am thinking positive, and the thing is, it's like, if something were like to happen like that sort of fell into my lap, of course I'm going to take it. But what I'm not doing is I'm not out in the grind every day auditioning for for 3 auditions a day kind of stuff. That's not me. I don't do that.
How many Comic Cons do you actually do? Like, could you do?
Well, before COVID hit, I used to do them almost every single weekend. I mean, we were getting booked, literally I would do 40 conventions a year.
Wow, it's a lot
Yeah.
of
I mean,
We
I
have
a
was
a
lot
on
of picture taking and signing.
No,
Yeah.
we
mhm.
have a friend, Felissa Rose, who's a big horror icon, and
Wait,
and she goes
Excuse
almost
me.
every weekend.
Horror, not
Horror.
horror.
How do you say horror?
Horror.
Horror.
Another one
see?
that says whore. Everybody thought she was a whore. Horror. She's not a whore. It's horror.
Horror.
Horror, not whore.
Actually, I'm going
Yeah.
to put you because I produce a lot of films. I have like 9 films that I'm working on right now, and so I
Fantastic.
have a list of people. They always come to me because they know I have a lot of celebrities on the show saying, who do you have? And I have this list with all the people. So I'll put you on the list, and that way, if anybody's interested, I'll hook you up to
Well,
get you
that's
in.
very
See?
generous
There you
of you. I
go.
appreciate that. Yeah, I know. I listen. Like I said, I'm open-minded to things happening to me, but I'm also at the same time not, the one that's going to be like, I have a lot of other things that I like to try to do, and the audition process is very time consuming and just
Yes.
something that I'm not interested in.
Well, now we do it online. You don't even have to be there. You just send in all your clips.
You should be my agent, man. This guy,
No,
he's just
it's true.
pushing
No.
me.
Listen, Stevie.
Yes, sir.
I'm in the business. How many? 64 years. I started at 19. I'm
Mhm.
still working. I've got 6 movies to do this year, and I
Wow.
haven't auditioned for one. You know what my auditions were? Films that I were in.
Yeah.
So the more work you do, the more work you get, because when they want an old bag that can
Right.
still talk and walk, they call me.
Absolutely.
It's still talking walk.
No, it's true. So the more your films are your auditions.
Well,
So
that's
don't
what I
om-
hope for.
And
You
you're
know what I mean?
Wait a
following.
minute, wait a minute. A little bit of advice. Don't always do Power Rangers. Play other parts so people could see your ability as an actor. And I'm sure
Right.
you'll get work without auditioning like I do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is what I try to do,
Yeah,
and
work
I
as much.
encourage the producers to say, and again, which is why I don't try to push for big parts and stuff. I'd be like, look, just put me in some little roles, so I have something to give back to the fans when I go and
And
see
also
them.
those
And
little.
at the same time, my social media, I'll be able to help promote your movie, because I'm going to be reaching out to a whole audience of people that listen to what I have to say, and that I'm going to be, they'll want to come see the movie. So, putting me in the part also to just let people know I'm doing a movie and promote it. It helps promote their movie, and so on and so forth.
And you have a very loyal fan base. You specifically.
Well, the
have a
Power
very-
Rangers have a very loyal fan base for
Yes.
sure. And I'm so humbled and grateful for that. You just can't even believe it. So almost 30 years later, and these guys still come out and see us, man. I just, I can't fathom it.
They think that you should be on the Mayans. We have a friend, Augie Duke, who just got cast on a couple episodes of that. They think you should go on that.
On mine?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I have to watch that.
That's fantastic. Yeah, congratulations. No, I mean, look, I mean, like I said, I would love to do more stuff, but at the same time, I don't want to do like big starring roles. That takes up a lot of commitment. I'd rather do, where I
In
can
and
be
out.
in and out, be on the set for a few days, have a little fun, and then go on to the next thing.
Do you like horror movies?
I would do horror movies, but I'm not a huge horror movie fan.
I hate them, and I'm in them all the time. And I hate them. I think
Hey,
they're
that's okay. I
think
would totally.
I think they are so stupid, and so you know what's going to happen. They're all the same.
Yeah.
That's why I try to avoid them. But let me get one point out. I was in a cameo role for a friend of mine. I played a doctor. And guess what? Somebody called up and said, "We want you to play a scientist." Normally, I play a Brooklyn Mafia killer gangster.
No, right.
I'm always typed as the killer, Italian killer. So now that little cameo got me a part as playing a scientist. I mean, that's a new one
That's
for me.
fantastic.
Yeah.
No,
So
it's
you never
great.
know. You never know.
You're very right, Ron. You're absolutely right. I hope you didn't think that I was dismissing everything that you were saying.
No,
in
no,
any
no,
way.
no, no.
I was
hoping,
not.
No, I was
Yeah.
trying to help you out by
Encourage. I
saying,
appreciate that. No,
we
thank
have
you.
a very good friend of ours who is a famous actor, and he moved to Pennsylvania and he bought a farm, and he couldn't get any work. So now he said, "I'm screwing it." I sold the farm and moved back to LA. The minute he moved back to LA, work fell his way. Out of sight, out of mind.
That was a long time ago, though. Now things are a little bit
Who
different.
was it?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Paul Sorvino.
the good.
You know who Paul Sorvino is? You know who Paul
Paul
Sorvino
Sorvino, of course. Yeah.
That's who it
Yeah,
was.
that's-
Paul
yeah.
Sorvino bought that farm and then went back to Hollywood.
Wait. Before you answer, too, say hi to Dawn. Say hi,
Hi, Don. How are you?
She said you'd be really hot on the Mayans.
Oh my!
We have
right now.
We have very horny women coming on.
Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
No,
There's a shortage of that in this world. So wherever it is, it's welcomed.
Let's do a hypothetical.
Okay.
So let's say, so you're an actor. Let's say you could work with any male and female actor on the planet, even if it was just a cameo. What male and female actor you would think, oh my God, it'd be so much fun to work with them. And then the second part of the question is, if you could have ever been in any movie that's ever, been made in history, what movie do you think you would have loved to have been in?
Okay. All right. I can answer all of those things. So one of the actors that I would love to even just meet is Gary Oldman. I think he's probably one of the most diverse and most incredible actors that's on the screen these days.
I agree.
He, from True Romance to Commissioner Gordon, I mean, this guy just does so much. To
Harry Potter,
Winston Churchill.
He was great.
Yeah, I mean, he was
Brilliant,
amazing in that. He's so brilliant. Now,
Brilliant.
I would love to meet, and maybe someday work with Gary Oldman. He's amazing. And an actress that I really admire too is Toni Collette. I don't know if you guys know who Toni Collette is. The United States of Terror. She is genius. She's an Australian, I believe, but wasn't she
the mom in Little Miss Sunshine?
Yep.
She was, I think.
Yeah,
and
she's got a whole bunch of big movies.
She was also the mom in The Sixth Sense, and she was,
she's phenomenal.
she was Muriel's Wedding back in, back in the 90s, and she's just done some, the United States of Terror, all the split personalities she did on that Showtime series. I mean, I just think she's amazing. So I would love to, meet and work
Nobody's
with her.
ever picked her. Nobody's ever said her either. She's a good pick. I like that.
She's an amazing pick. Like, I mean, if you don't know who this woman is, go watch her movies. She's so good, like so subtle. You know what I mean? Like, I find that interesting.
She was in Krampus for my birthday. Ron got me an 8-foot Krampus. I collect that. I have all these life-size things, and she was the mom in Krampus too, which is a big horror movie.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know that one.
So many actors don't have the PR or the money for the PR that other actors have, and they become sleeper actors, who are great actors but never famous. It's all about PR. And I
Yeah.
agree with you. I've seen her work, and she's a damn good actress.
So what
I
about a
do agree
movie?
with
What
you.
about a movie you would like to have been in?
So a movie that I would have liked to have been in was Oliver Stone's The Doors, because
great
The
movie.
Doors are one of my favorite bands of all time. I know every song, I know all the lyrics, I know pretty much everything there is to know about Jim Morrison. I used to live on Sunset and Clark, right across the street from the Whiskey. My apartment building was right next door to the Whiskey A Go Go, and I just like lived and breathed The Doors. And I thought Val Kilmer did such a great job as Jim Morrison in that movie, and that would have been a cool one to be a part of.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I actually went to see Jim Morrison's grave when we were in France.
I did that too. I mean, I've been to Paris a few times, and I went to see Jim Morrison's grave because why not?
I know. I think that's
Yeah.
a cool answer.
But weren't you guys too young when the Doors were out?
Well, yeah, The Doors was after my time, but I was always a big fan of all the classic
you had to
rock.
be- you had
the
to be
Beatles, the
teenage-
Who, the Doors, the Rolling Stones, all that stuff. I mean,
You had to be
I was born
teenager.
in 1974 when half of this stuff it was already like long gone,
Right. But I lived
yeah.
I lived that era.
Oh, for sure.
I
yeah.
was right there, baby, as a hippie. I
Oh,
love
Do you
it.
like
man.
Pink Floyd? One of my clients is
Pink
Scott
Floyd,
Page.
love Pink Floyd. I think, again, so many great albums, Adam Hart, Mother, A Momentary Lapse of Reason, such great albums. And I just love their psychedelic, sound, you know what I mean?
I'm a publicist, is how I support myself all the time when I'm
Mhm.
not producing films. And so Scott Page is the saxophonist for Pink Floyd, and he's one of my
Yeah.
clients.
And he's a
Oh,
dear
wow.
friend. He's a good friend of ours,
yeah,
a
he's
good buddy.
phenomenal.
Fantastic, man. Yeah, no, I love Pink Floyd. Again, another one of my faves for sure.
Do you know Sean Kanan? Because he does some of the conventions. He's from Cobra.
Yeah, he was the Cobra Kai kid from Karate Kid.
Kid.
I'm from the Karate Kid 3. I met him. Actually, I did a Comic-Con in Liverpool a few months back. And
Yeah, I know he was
and we met
there.
each other for the first time at that one. At that.
Oh,
show.
okay. He's a very
Yeah,
good
mhm.
friend of ours. He came
Oh,
to
cool.
our house for Thanksgiving.
Well, yeah. Actually, tell him I said hello, and I know that I spoke in great length with his wife,
Michelle, I love Michelle.
Yeah,
Ron-
right.
Ron-
And
Ron wrote-
you
Ron wrote-
need to tell them to call me because I know she has my number, and I've actually reached out a couple of times to try to
Well,
talk.
No, I
Michelle,
will. We see her
Michelle,
all the time.
Michelle is
Yeah.
directing. Michelle is directing a movie I'm in, and Sean Kanan plays my son. So we will see them very soon, and we will definitely tell them.
I'll tell
Okay,
him. I text
yes,
with
I
him
love
all the
Mich-
time.
I love
yeah.
Mich-
Tell,
I love-
tell them that we spoke in Liverpool, and I had reached out a couple times, but haven't heard back from her, and I would like to talk to her. If you can do that for me, I'd appreciate that.
I would absolutely
will.
Absolutely can do it. I can even introduce you. You have her email? I can introduce you in an email. Otherwise, if you don't have it.
I believe I have it. Yeah.
Well, I can put you in a
but,
group
yeah, you can
next with
tell-
her too. But yeah, we'll tell her. Okay, because she'll love it. Because he's probably, well, nobody knows for sure or not, but the rumor is.
You're not supposed to talk.
I said the rumor is he's going to be on Cobra Kai the next season. So
Well, I would
they're
imagine
saying.
he would be. I mean, why? I mean, like, why they would be crazy not to put him in there.
I
which
know
would
the
be fun.
truth. I know the truth, but I'm not telling.
There you go. So do I. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. I love it.
Isn't it sad how we're not allowed to talk about the business? I'm going to work now in Nevada soon, in a couple of weeks, in a movie, and I'm not allowed to mention the title, talk about the movie, or who's in it.
Yeah.
Isn't
I mean,
that ridiculous? What happened to?
I mean, it seems a little crazy. I mean, I get certain things people want to protect what they're trying to
that's
make without giving
nonsense.
any spoilers, but you can't just at least say anything what it's about, or at least the name of
Nothing.
it?
Nothing. I was
Yeah,
told nothing. And years ago we had pre-publicity. We would talk about a film 6 months before its release, and people would be anticipating it, like, "Oh my God, a Joan Crawford movie! I can't wait! I can't wait!"
Yeah. mhm.
Nowadays, then when it comes out, they wonder why it doesn't make money. Well, because nobody knew about it.
We also
Yeah.
want to welcome. So Courtney Gale has joined us. She's a celebrity photographer that goes to all the events with us.
Hey, Court.
She's fabulous. And Jason Taylor has a podcast. He said hello, everyone. Steve Cardenas is awesome.
Hey guys, thank you
yeah.
so much.
I really do think it's so because we only have a couple minutes left. How I guess it's been great because you've got a whole career of it, but like, how was it for you being part of one of the most iconic kids shows, probably like in my history of my lifetime?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're asking a good question, because the thing is, it's like our fans back then, we're all little kids, though. And back then there was also no social media. There was no way for them to contact us unless they wrote us these little snail mail letters, and we were lucky if we could answer them back, because we were being herded around back and forth, working 12-hour days and then going and doing touring and, all this stuff. We had no time for ourselves, let alone time to interact with any of the fans, but now with the advent of Comic-Cons, on a massive scale, and social media, and the fans are actually older now and they can convey how much they appreciated our show. I've sort of I've developed a whole new respect, and I've really learned to embrace Power Rangers, because after Power Rangers was over, I was kind of like done with that show, and I just went back to opening up martial arts studios and running all that kind of stuff. And that's what I did for a lot of years until the convention scene started calling. And then it just consumed all my time. And I just never really knew or appreciated the fan base that we had and how loyal they've been, until I started doing these events and seeing these guys come out and tell me the stories they tell me, and how much we were so much a part of their childhood. And to hear those kind of things like that, I mean, obviously it's very humbling to me, and at the same time, just it's hard to fathom, because I mean, I was a fan of G.I. Joe and He-Man and all this stuff when I was growing up, but I'm not standing in line to get so-and-so signature, you know what I mean? I just can't, I don't understand, but I appreciate, the fans and how loyal they've stayed to our show. And, I'm forever going to be grateful, and forever grateful to be part of pop culture. You know what I mean?
I love it. So you guys can follow Steve on Instagram. He's at Steve Cardenas PR, STEVECARDENAS PR. Why is there a PR on the end of it?
Power Ranger.
Oh, I'm such an idiot.
Yeah,
I'm a freaking moron.
No, I know what you're thinking, because I know you're a publicist, so you're thinking public relations. And it's funny, my sister is a publicist. She does what you do as well too. She's got a lot of big clients: Danica Patrick, Donovan McNabb, Terrell Owens, all these people, right? And her handle is Kathy Cardenas PR, the same, but for public relations, and mine is for Power Rangers. So we always joke about that all the time.
I'm like a moron. I can't even bleep that. I didn't even get that. That's just hilarious. So we want to thank you for coming on the show. We wish you the best. I'll definitely contact Sean and Michelle and put you on our list. And hopefully,
I will too.
We'll get to see you soon. But thank you so much for coming on the show. We had a blast.
All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you guys, everybody watching and listening and comments and all that. Appreciate you. Love you guys.
Okay, you were a good guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now.
All right, everybody. So that was Steve Cardenas. I just get such a kick out of that. B's writing and keeps writing in the chat room how happy I am. I'm grinning from ear to ear, just because I love that. Anybody who I have action figures of, I love, and the fact that I had the action figures before he came on the show, it's a big deal. I know it's nothing to you, though. Actually, for me, it's a big deal.
Jimmy gave me for one of my Christmas or birthday a Howdy Doody puppet. And that means a lot to me, because as a little boy, I watched the Howdy Doody show every day, and I learned how to have manners and how to treat people, because that's how they did shows back in my day. They taught children not to be mean, selfish, rude, conceited, and we learned from puppets. Imagine from a wooden doll. A wooden doll taught kids today how to behave.
So we're gonna
my day today. Media teaches children how to be angry, vindictive, forceful, and abusive. And I don't like it. I think we should go back to the Power Rangers and Howdy Doody days.
So Teresa says you look rested and gorgeous, and we're going to take
I am very rested after that friggin' 2.5 hour drive back and forth from Palm Springs to Hollywood to Sue's party. And we didn't leave Sue's party till 2 a.m. We got home at 4. So I was kind of wiped out. But yeah, thank you very much. I'm very rested.
So we're going to take a quick music break, and then we're going to bring back Dustin Quick and Medi M. The music break, we're going to play Ryan Brahms. The name of the song is When I Was Me. It's one of my favorite songs from a long time ago. And he's a great, great artist. So Roxy, take it away. And when we come back, you guys will be on with Dustin Quick and Medi M.
Sir.
Guessing that there's nothing more to say. It kills me, but I should be on my way. And the sunrise always brings something new. it won't bring you. No, it won't bring you. Trying to figure out where we went wrong. If only it was simple as a song that could bring us back to where we used to be. When you were you and I was me. The way it used to be, when you used to be. You used to be my angel, but now your halo's on fire. A fallen angel, no longer mine. And we can't go back to where we used to be. No, we can't go back. We can't go back to where we used to be. When you were you and I was me. When I was me. I think about another place and time where you were every reason to my rhyme. And your eyes would sing their silent poetry. When you were you and I was me. The way it used to be, when you used to be. You used to be my angel, but now your halo's on fire. A fallen angel, no longer mine. And we can't go back to where we used to be. No, we can't go back. We can't go back to where we used to be. You were you and I was me. Today is just the yesterday, a shell of who we used to be. And you're so far away. And now I know I'll never know if you were ever mine at all. I'm gonna let you go. You used to be my angel, but now your halo's on fire. A fallen angel, no longer mine. And we can't go back to where we used to be. No, we can't go back. We can't go back to where we used to be. When I was me.
Yay, everybody! That was Ryan Brahms.
And
The
I
name of the
liked
song
it.
is
And
When I Was
liked
Me.
it. And it sounded like human, normal, nice. I liked it.
I love
Not
it.
like some of this crap they have today.
So
No,
Lady
it's a
Lake,
beautiful song.
Lady Lake, his name is Ryan Brahms, Brahms, and he's like really good. And now we're gonna bring in our next set of guests. Let's see
With
what
great
happens.
anticipation. Where are they?
Oh, they'll be coming. Hopefully they're there. Welcome,
Dustin.
Dusty and Medi. We'll
Where
bring
do you
into
see
the-
how beautiful Dustin is? You could drop dead from her face. She's so gorgeous.
Absolutely. I don't know if they're still there. What happened? There we
There
go.
they go.
Yay!
Look.
Hi, you guys.
Hi, Ron.
Wait,
Hi,
wait.
Jimmy.
Good.
Hi.
Lower whatever you're doing because you're very loud. Oh,
No,
Roxy, Roxy, can you lower them? Somebody out there.
Say something, you guys. Say something.
Hello. How are you?
No, they're
Good,
fine.
better. Now, was I lying, folks, when I said she's drop dead gorgeous? Look at her. Oh my God.
Thank you.
I love your face so
Likewise.
much, Dustin.
Oh, we love you guys.
No, but I love your face, and when you wear those suwon gowns, my God, are you drop dead fabulous? You know, you're so lucky to have
And
her.
if you're not in those suwon gowns, you're also drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah, but, and your hubby
You know,
is
she actually looks just as good without makeup. I tell her don't wear any makeup, but you know.
she is. But you know
So
what?
you guys-
and also Dustin is beautiful inside, is outside.
So
She's
you-
a sweetheart of a
So
girl.
you guys, hold on. Let me do an
yes, we have to
introduction.
do an intro.
All right, you guys. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the amazing, super talented couple of Dustin Quick and Medi M. Welcome to the show. And let me just say, first I want to say is happy anniversary. I saw it was your
Yep.
anniversary yesterday, I think. So happy 7th anniversary. Was it 7th? I think I read.
Yeah.
Lucky
Thank you
seven,
so much. I
and
think
boy,
we
are
were
you
married a
lucky to
couple
have
years
her for a
before you did.
bride.
Yes. And so happy anniversary. And so you guys, real quick, just so you know, Dustin is a supermodel. She's
Wait a
also
minute, wait a minute. Before you go any further, Dustin, favor, please come closer to the camera. You're too far away. I want them to see your face. Come closer. Now look. Now come close. Give us a full headshot. Now smile.
They,
I mean, I love her. She's just, God was so good to her. My goodness.
so you guys, Dustin is a supermodel, and
Look how
there we go.
beautiful.
She's
Look
a
at her.
supermodel, and she's also an actress. And Medi is a phenomenal musician, and he's also an actor.
And he ain't bad on the eyes either.
And he's the European. And you guys, he's like
Well,
the
thank
European.
you. Ron, you look so great. We couldn't stop talking about how great both of you, but especially Ron. You've just made.
Yeah, he's the good-looking one.
Well,
it's fantastic.
I'm 82 years old.
I
next
cannot
month,
believe that.
And
you look
I've been
60.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Look so great. And you,
there was a day if anybody said I look 60, I'd be insulted. Now I'm so flattered.
and you look so natural too. It's so refreshing.
I don't have anywhere. I don't like you. I don't do anything to my face. I won't Botox or filler because then you look like Joan Rivers. No.
No duck lips when you do the profile.
Yeah, no duck lips. And
No,
you guys,
no.
Medi is like he's like
musician.
the European James Bond too.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
love
how
it.
we're
That's a great way to
marketing him as the European James Bond, you guys. So if you guys are looking for like a spy person to play in one of your like movies, and you want a really handsome dude who's got a little European flair, there's your man
He's
right
actually
there.
not European. He's Iranian, which is something I want to go to because as I've spoken to him about it, Iranian people are the loveliest people I have met. When I lived in Beverly Hills in the 70s, Iranians were moving into Beverly Hills, and the people there were very unhappy with that. They didn't want Iranian people there. So the guy that owns the rug store on Wilshire Boulevard, I forgot his name, but the big Iranian rug store invited me to his home for dinner, and I met his family. They couldn't have been the most wonderful hosts and hostesses and families. Now, quick story. A neighbor of mine bought a Rolls Royce. And he was so proud of his Rolls, and he had it it was a white one. He had it on the driveway. He wouldn't even put it in the garage. Next door to him suddenly moved an Iranian. Well, my neighbor did not like the fact that an Iranian was next door. So you know what the Iranian did? He went and bought 2 Rolls Royce. and he had 2 Rolls Royce on the driveway, one white, one black. Well, my neighbor had a nervous breakdown. He left. No, but anyway, I had
thank you, Ron, for the vote of confidence. Thank you.
No, I'm telling you the truth. I mean, I had dear friends Mimi and Mahmoud Shafi, who were Iranian.
Yes.
So we are in the chat room. Courtney is writing
Anyways,
a bunch
if you want an Iranian, Arabic-looking spy kind of guy, he's the guy for
He's
it.
absolutely the guy. He's
So
like a superstar.
I lived in Europe. I finished my high school in England, and I lived in Spain, so I speak Spanish also.
Okay, so he could be in
fluently, very
Spanish
fluently.
films.
So, I can speak Spanish for a role, Farsi, or I have a good ear for languages. I can even pick up something that I haven't, I don't speak.
There you go. I love it.
Well, you could play an Italian mafioso also.
Yes. Oh, Italian is so easy to talk Italian.
That's what I'm always cast as an Italian mafia because of my Brooklyn accent.
So in the chat room we have Courtney. Courtney is our friend who's also the photographer who took all the beautiful pictures of you the other night. So say hi to Courtney.
Hi, Courtney.
We love you.
We love you.
Now
Let's
she's
talk.
beautiful.
Beautiful
Let's
and
talk.
talented.
Let's talk about Dusty. I'm gonna call her Dusty.
Okay.
My little nickname for her, Dusty. Let's hear what she's done, and you'd be shocked to know that she's a working actress. Not only just a model.
Wait, have you been modeling forever? I read a story, or you told me a story about how you used to like in Malibu, like walk to school or something. Have you always been modeling?
Funny enough, I started off in theater. So I come from Nebraska, and Marlon Brando's mother created this theater, and that's where I began. Like probably my first play I was in I was 6, and so then it would continue, and I graduated from Pepperdine in Malibu, studying theater, and I went over to New York and did some off-Broadway Shakespeare, and then finally came back here and started doing film and TV. And then all of a sudden the modeling just kind of started happening. And it was, it's so fun, especially somebody like Sue Wong, where you're wearing these, incredible pieces of art. Wow. And so it's kind of like you're acting a character. To me, I feel like they're very similar. You're if it's a goddess or if it's some kind of a woman that you're conveying. I think, the theater and the fashion go very hand in hand. And I think that's especially why Sue and I work well together. She loves the goddesses.
Yes.
And also
She always writes that in my goddess superstar models, and she always writes that
yeah,
for you.
right. And
I like
that's the thing.
all
I
that.
knew, I grew up knowing all the different goddesses, and I would try and dress up like them, and play make believe. And then also the movie stars, and I would plaster them on my walls. And so it's funny that we have a very we're fluent in the same languages. So it is kind of like she has these brilliant screenplays or plays, and then I act them out.
So I almost went to Pepperdine.
Oh,
I was from Florida though, and it was too far away. I was a competitive tennis player, and I was going to play tennis for Pepperdine.
They have a great tennis program.
Yeah, I was a great tennis player when I was young. And but my parents didn't want me to go because I lived in Florida, and they were just like, "That's too far away."
I could have gone to Pepperdine, except I was kicked out of high school at 16.
Well, we could all go there. We actually got married there.
Did you really?
So,
Who got married?
They did.
We got married
We
there.
got married at
Pepperdine?
Pepperdine. It was beautiful. The chapel there, it was
it's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
And we had a reception at Spruce House, which has an ocean view, massive balcony, and it couldn't have been a better wedding. It was a typical Southern California wedding.
Yeah, next time you're out there, in fact, it's just down the street from Sue's. It was before I met. We met Sue right after we got married. But next time you're out here, we can all go there, and I'll take you around Pepperdine, and you can see the view.
I've been to I was to Pepperdine in the 70s. A friend of ours' kid was going there, and it was the chapel. It's an incredible bunch of buildings, and so elegant and ancient looking. I loved it. Old world looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there's a beautiful stained glass.
Yeah,
it looked like an old world, and we had people from all around the world come to the wedding, so it did accommodate everybody.
Wonderful.
And it was a beautiful time, and George Clooney's cousin was our reverend, and
how cool!
Yeah, he is Rosemary Clooney's son.
And he knew Rosemary Clooney, didn't you?
I never. We have to be careful with this Hollywood bullshit. Everybody said I knew. I met. There's three things I'm friends with, I met, and I knew. You I'm friends with, you I've met, and you I know. But Jane Russell was my best friend, and I knew and hung out with her. But Rosemary Clooney I've met a few times. She was very sweet. This is years back. Very pretty lady. I was very shocked to see how pretty she was in person when she smiled. Very, very beautiful smile. Yeah. So how are you related to her?
Oh no, so the Reverend, I used to, I'd actually met him, that married us. That's Rosemary's baby.
Gabriel, no?
Gabriel, yeah.
Yeah. So Gabriel, he's a great minister, and also he has a lot of. He could have been an actor. He's so good. No wonder. I guess he runs in the family.
It's the Clooney charm.
Yeah, he was so good, and people loved him. Mm-hmm. And we had people from all over the world, and also all different religious background, and he was so good. He was awesome.
Yeah, he unified the very diverse crowd, and kind of cracking up.
For those of you who are not familiar with the Malibu area, when you drive up the Pacific Coast Highway, you have the ocean to the left and this wonderful mountain to the right, and at the very top is Pepperdine, and it just looks enchanting. So that's a great place to get married. So now tell me, where do you live now? Up in Malibu still?
So now we're off of Topanga Canyon, but on the other side of the canyon. And
in the valley.
We're like the, I don't know if you know the area. It's called Woodland Hills. And
sure. I know Woodland Hills very well.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful. It's lots of space. And in fact, they have an incredible shopping mall. It's where they shop Clueless. And the whole area is really popping and developing. So it's becoming a great place. We've got, like a little mini orchard going on in our backyard. He's Persian, so we have a lot of fruit trees.
I told Jimmy we should move to Sherman Oaks because Palm Springs is way too hot.
Yeah,
it is. And it gets hot here as well. But
not as hot as
not like here. Not 122.
Yeah.
Every day, all summer long.
Oh my God! I was for many years a clothing designer, and I didn't make Sue Wong kind of clothes. I made like rock star clothes.
He made rigs, ugly rigs.
I made ugly rags, but I dressed out.
No, really,
John
and they sold like crazy.
Yeah, I sold.
Shirts with holes in them.
Everybody
he had a
Aerosmith shopped in my store,
and he had a t-shirt. FU.
Oh, fuck
on
me,
it.
I'm famous and all
Yeah,
kinds
you
of
know,
shit.
real,
But anyway,
real style and class.
but Clueless back in the day was like my favorite movie because
Oh,
you
so
know because of all her fashion stuff. I thought that was like the greatest like movie ever. But okay, so let's talk a little bit because not
I can't stop looking
so
at her.
I know,
You
but
know, if I wasn't gay, he'd be in trouble. I would make passes at her.
Well, maybe
all
I'm
the
lucky,
time.
Ron.
No, I would make. She's so sweet and so pretty, and I just love her.
Oh,
You know what? You're
so
one of my
kind.
favorites.
Thank
You know,
you.
I told that to Sue all the time. I've got two favorites: Devin Moss and you. I love Devin. She's another sweet
and
angel.
Eugenia, which
Oh,
and the
Eugenia.
reason I'm bringing in Eugenia that way we can talk about something you guys just did
Right.
because the two of you just did a Bruce Willis movie called Die Like Lovers, and Eugenia's in it, and Barry J. Minoff, who I did a movie in Miami with, actually a Corey Feldman movie, and Dominic Purcell and Andy Allo. So like you just did a cool movie. How long? So you've been acting forever then? How about you, Medi? How long have you been doing the acting thing?
Not as long as Dustin, but I actually am in the same movie, Bruce Willis movie. I have a separate scene. I'm in a separate scene, so we're both
good.
in it.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's terrific.
Yeah,
So
and,
who got who
my
in
role
it?
is actually kind of, I guess it maybe goes my character or my look. Maybe it's kind of a drug lord, like a criminal with a bodyguard and a big mansion.
Welcome to my world.
So yeah, it's you know, actually the producer Jesse Atlas, and actually sorry, the director Jesse Atlas, he's incredible. His short, go ahead, Dustin, tell him about his short first.
So it's a feature length. It's one of Bruce Willis's latest films, and unfortunately last film. But it's such a quality piece because it's a feature based on a short that was at Sundance, and so it's very high concept, beautifully shot, and so now we are each have our own scenes, and we're so excited. It's coming out this year, and yeah, we're excited.
Yes.
And it was at this year's Oscars, we were at this Oscar screening event at the house that used to be owned prior to the owners there now, Warren Beatty and Annette Bening. And so we were so excited because they're like, it's a beautiful old, kind of classic Hollywood couple that you don't really hear any drama from. And unlike other Hollywood couples that you're hearing.
Like a lot of drama from.
You know, I met Warren Beatty at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I was peeing, and he came next to me and peed, and we chatted. I'm serious. We said hello, hello. Yeah, but I never looked. So if people say, did you take a peek? I said I would never do that. I mean, I respect people's privacy. But yeah, Warren and I were standing next to it. We were standing next to each other, peeing away and gabbing. He was a sweetheart.
Actually, we were at another red carpet event, and he was peeing next to Richard Grieco, and that's
Yeah.
how we got him on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, as we were peeing, I said, listen, I have a TV show. I'd like you to. He looked at me like I was a nut. And I said, no, I'm not lying or kidding. I said, we would like you to.
And now we're friends.
Yeah, and Richard Grieco. I always tell that story when Richard comes on. People love that story. So you never know who you meet in the men's room.
Yes.
You were streaming before you were streaming with him.
That's right. You were streaming before you were streaming.
She's a
Very
comedian
witty.
too.
That was very
No,
witty.
but let me tell you something about Richie. He's a doll of a guy. He is really a nice person and a hell of a good actor. And I wish he would get more work. Jimmy, we've got to put him in work. And we
I
got to
love his
put
stuff.
Dustin and her handsome hubby at work too.
Yes, absolutely. I'm
Jimmy has 6 or 7 movies
9.
going.
I have
Not
9 films. that are
9
in
films
different stages
going
of
now that he's
development right
producing.
now, like
That's
so
how
I'm a
come- wait,
publicist.
that's how come we're buying a house in the Hamptons.
We do this show, and I'm a publicist to earn my everyday, but then I also produce a bunch
As
of
I
films.
said, we're buying a home in the Hamptons. You know what that costs.
And we just bought a Tesla.
Right, we're getting very rich. It's disgusting. We're going to be so hated by people.
No, we're not.
Here we
And we're
are.
not that rich,
Well,
believe
meanwhile,
me.
he's no beggar. I mean, who paid for that wedding up at Pepperdine?
Oh, actually, surprisingly, because I was alumni, it didn't. It was incredibly affordable.
You're
I don't
kidding.
believe it was.
I would
was
think it
less
was in the
expensive.
in the 50,000 range.
So the reception was separate, obviously at the restaurant, but the wedding ceremony at the chapel, it was very inexpensive only because she was an alumni.
Right.
And actually we had to fill out an application form, and they study the application form and they decide if they're going to let you have the wedding there.
Oh, okay.
And we
okay.
were lucky enough, they said yes. And when they said how much, we were like, wow, it was so, it was
Yeah,
great.
well, it was. It was
Good for you. That's
it wasn't.
fantastic.
It wasn't luck. They remembered her face, and that's.
I'm sure.
Oh, that's so
Now
sweet.
listen, Sue Wong threw that wonderful bash for her birthday, and I got there earlier as she requested, and I saw her upstairs, and she was exhausted and in aches and pains. And I said, "Quit bitching. You got a lot of people coming. You got to be sweet and nice. And here's your birthday present." And we gave her a coffee table book about Art Deco, and she was so happy. I
Oh,
love
awesome.
and adore Sue Wong. She is
Oh,
my
me too.
favorite friend.
Yes, we love
Love
her.
her.
Yeah, we love
She's
her.
like
And-
family.
yeah,
A lot of
and,
people-
she
a lot
loves
of people-
Art Deco.
A lot of people think she's full of shit and a phony and a show off and all that other crap that they accuse her of. And I tell people there's a little Chinese girl that lives inside of that powerful woman. And that's the person I love, the little Chinese girl. Sue Wong is happy to share with the world what she has. She's not
Yes.
showing off or bragging. She's teaching and she's showing and she's proud of who she's become from hard work. Don't forget, she and her grandmother ate rat in China when the
Yeah.
communists took over. Anyway,
Right.
that's all
So
coming
she,
out in the movie.
Sue has the material to back up her claims. I mean, she has beautiful art, beautiful
I love
dresses
her.
that she's designed, beautiful homes. She's a great speaker. She's got a lot of talent.
Super intelligent
Absolutely.
woman with a wonderful vocabulary,
Yes.
considering that she was born in China, not here.
Yes.
So-
I thank Sue all the time for letting me come into her world. When I entered the Cedars, I think I'm back in 1925 with my movie stars that I grew up with, all the famous legends of Hollywood. And it's the last of the Mohegans. When that home is no longer accessible to us, we're going to be in crappy Hollywood, junk, modernized furniture, gray
I
and
wonder.
cardboard
It's
furniture.
so
What?
beautiful.
What?
I think it's so beautiful. I think she should turn it into a museum and display her.
Absolutely.
So that we,
It's a thrill a
She's
minute.
talked about that. She's talked about maybe possibly doing a museum and
Yes, up in
Yeah.
Bel Air. She's buying land up in Bel Air to build a Moroccan mansion with an adjacent museum. Yeah, but that's why she's selling her house for what I think it's going for 100 million, which it's an enormous estate. It takes up a half of a block, a half of a world. Anyway,
I want to go to
we
Medi.
love Sue more than because of that. I love Sue because when we go to the Chinese restaurant to eat, she says to me, "Oh, this is such good homemade Chinese food," and we pig out. And I just love her to pieces. I just
We do
think
too.
she's.
We did too.
I
and
just
you guys,
can't say
you're
enough.
great.
And we met you guys there. So
That's
I want to
right.
go to Medi a little bit, and we'll go
Yes.
back if we have time to talk about some of the other movie stuff. But I want to talk to him a little bit about the music. So basically, tell everybody what you do. I actually picked out a video off of YouTube, and they're going to play it. I
Okay,
downloaded
great.
it and sent it.
So I started playing guitar when I was 9, and my dad was not very thrilled. He wanted me to become an engineer, and I wanted to do music. So we made a compromise. He said, "You do study and don't let your regular study go, and you can do music on the side." So most of my life, I did music on the side. However, by age like 15, I was playing in bands. I was making more money than a teacher would make in a month in one night. That's it, back in Iran. Then I moved to England and I studied a little bit more music on the side. And then from there, I went to Spain and I fell in love with flamenco. And I picked up flamenco. And my passion is actually flamenco. I compose my own music, all of it. I don't play any covers. I don't even know covers. Maybe I know one or two, but I'm never interested in covers. I compose everything. So I compose, my style is flamenco world fusion. And on the side of that, I did some DJing, house music. I played actually at Avalon at Bordeaux in Hollywood for a little while. And I do electronic music. And as you saw, maybe the music video is kind of pop, rock. So I do different styles of music because over the years, I've studied and done different styles. But my passion is more flamenco style. And I have an album.
Jose Greco, remember Jose Greco?
Yes, I know the name. So I have an album. It's called Semillas, which in Spanish means seeds, and I released that one around 2003 or 4. But I just recently put most of my music online, like literally a few months ago. So now I'm on Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Music, Apple. Dustin and I, we are working on a new song, which Dustin sings, I sing, and we've shot the video. We're finalizing the song, and hopefully in a few months I'll have that released, which you will be there for sure.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Well, you know what? Send it to us. Are we allowed to play it without?
We're gonna play one right now.
Oh, we're not getting kicked off.
Oh, we'll find out.
You know, we got kicked off for playing people's music. Why I don't know. Yeah, it was stupid because the composer was on our show. We were playing his music.
It's a YouTube thing.
And YouTube said you can't do that.
If you do it live, they have trouble with it. But lately, we've been pretty good.
I mean,
so.
I don't understand the stupidity.
You have our permission.
What I did is I took this video off of YouTube, and the name of the song, it's the one I like the best also because Dustin's in the video, and so that everybody can see how beautiful she is also. And the name of the song is Heartbeat, featuring Dustin and somebody else, but I didn't write it down. Who else is in the video? There's another.
Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. We love her, and she's also the
Heartbeat.
Yeah, Heartbeat, and
Begins with an M.
Stirred.
Anyway, we're gonna play it now. It'll probably pop up. So
yes, of course.
I have to say this. I was in Barcelona when I was 17 years old on my way to Italy. I sailed on the Andrea Doria, and I fell in love with the flamenco, the dancing, the energy, I just love flamenco music. If you don't move from flamenco music, you're dead.
That's true.
Yes.
And I thought of the name.
It is beautiful. Flamenco is beautiful.
It does.
Now, Dusty, do you dance flamenco?
Yes.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Yes, absolutely. We've actually opened for a show for Sue when she had her Altier. Is that you say it?
Yes, she had her studio. She had a big studio, beautiful studio
Art
with
Deco.
Art Deco decoration, and it was her design studio. And she had she was auctioning some pieces, or
you opened up.
We
opened,
and Dustin. I played guitar live, and Dustin danced, and people loved it.
Yeah.
Well,
right, so hang on.
wait, Sue's next party, I'm going to insist that Dustin dances.
Yeah,
and you play. So hold on.
And you play.
So the name of the song is hard. Actually, Medi, you actually announced the song and just say here's my song or whatever, and then Roxy will play it for everybody, and we'll be back.
Okay. So here's a song I composed with Dustin about 3-4 years ago. It's called Heartbeat, and both Dustin and I sing on it, mainly Dustin. So here we go.
And it features Michelle Cordova.
Yes, and Michelle Cordova backup vocals. She's got a beautiful voice.
There we go. All right, take it away, Roxy.
I can't wait.
Yay, everybody! That was
I
Medi M.
am speechless.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's my kind of music, not the junk of today. I
Yeah.
love the dancing. I love the video. I love her beautiful self. I love your guitar. I love the.
Oh, thank you. And it means a lot
No,
coming
no, no,
from both
really.
of you, you know. Thank
Listen,
you.
listen. I don't blow smoke up anybody's butt. You know, I tell the truth. I wanted to dance around the house. I mean, that's crazy.
That's great. So you have to
That's
dance
great.
with us. Yes. And, you know, it gets your hips shaking. Hips don't lie.
Well, you know,
Actually,
I'm Italian,
yeah,
and Italians or Latins, and we Latins, when we hear music like that, our bodies move. We can't help it; it's built in. But it's a beautiful song. It's very, very. It's a beautiful video. I swear on my children, I really and my puppy dog, I really enjoyed that so much. Thank you so much.
And you know, when next time we're at Sue's, in fact, Sue was a little bit disappointed that we didn't perform last time because it got busy, and so she said next party she wants us for sure to perform.
Absolutely, because had I known that you did this, I would have said to Susie, "Let's get it going. Come on, Susie." I mean, bullshit. I mean, the other guys were okay, but a little boring. But this would have rocked the party. Your music.
Oh,
would have had
thank
us-
you, thank
no,
you.
you would have had us jumping through the windows. No, no,
Well,
really,
yes,
it's
we
good.
We have her couture in that video as well. So she's
And
part
you
of,
photo,
she's part of the.
you photographed beautifully. Shocking, of course.
Both of you. In the chat room,
Shocking
they're
how
saying it
beautiful
was
you photographed.
it was
Dustin.
less like a video and more like a small movie. They're
Yeah.
saying for this.
I got to
so.
say something, and this is really from the bottom of my heart. You two are amazing. I love the
Thank
fact that
you.
you're in love, the fact that you're married, the fact that you create together. My hat's off to you both. I really
Thank
love
you.
I love
Thank
you
you,
both.
Ron. Thank you.
No, really.
And
And the
we
more I,
appreciate it.
as
the
well.
more
I
I
mean,
get, the more I get to know you, the more I care for you.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
true. It's true.
Well,
So-
we love
Whenever you-
and
whenever
and
you're
we,
in-
we
when you-
love
when you
how
come to-
successful you two are, you know, and it you know I think it says a lot about your personality and your character that you're so loving and so successful. We appreciate it.
You're a perfect addition to the Sue Wong world. We are so grateful to have met you, and just I love getting to know you as well. You're a dynamic power couple, but you're all heart and style and fun, and we can't wait to see you again and get those hips shaking. I think we might be done. I don't know. I think I need to say goodbye.
Yeah. Well,
That's
we
okay.
have to wait.
It went nuts.
Hey,
Hey,
I don't know what happened. We disappeared. I don't know why.
My monitor.
yes.
Now my monitor is giving us trouble today. Jimmy's monitor, we see you and hear you. I think maybe we need a new monitor.
No, we're okay. We're okay. We're back. Anyway, we're back. So we've got we have 6 minutes left, and one thing I want to go over real quick with that. Which sorry everybody, but you guys got to look at Dustin and Medi while we were gone, and they're both gorgeous. So it works out really good because that never happens. And so one thing I want to mention, and this is more for Dustin, that you because we have a lot of horror movie fans, and you were in the Lords of Salem, which is a Rob Zombie movie.
Yeah.
And I know that Dawn's in the chat room. She loves it. So you guys, Dustin was in Lords of Salem with Sherry Moon Zombie, Ken Foray, who's been on our show, Dee Wallace has been on our show, Bruce Davison, Meg Foster, Maria Conquita Alonso, Michael Berryman's been on the show, Sid Haig's been on the show a long time ago. So how was it working on a major iconic horror movie?
Oh, it was amazing because let's just start with a little foreshadowing. So one of the Broadway pieces that I did in New York was, well, I guess I'm not in a theater, so I can say it here, Macbeth. And it was a post-apocalyptic take. So we, I was one of the three witches, and we danced, of course, kind of this sexy, almost Mad Max outfits. And and one of the musicians that we danced to was Rob Zombie. So
how cool is that?
I mean, isn't that like a sign, right? I conjured it. We had to work together. And excuse me. So I came out here and I started working for like Miramax and Dimension, and they do horror films. And so when it was kind of all starting to, cause I've always loved that type of genre as well. So then when I got the role, it was, I was able to go to Salem, and they flew me out there on a first class broom. and, and my character, well, let's just say in this sequence, she is kind of becomes under the spell of the witches in Salem, and there is some blood involved, and it may or may not involve her father. But I'm a little bit carved up, and just the special effects team were so incredible. They spent hours getting like all this scar tissue after this dance with a knife. And so I looked at Rob and I go, Macy's a cutter. And he laughed. So I was like, okay, good. I made Rob Zombie laugh. But he was awesome. His wife was lovely. And she just, was like almost like a family. The way it was, you could tell like the way that they ran.
People too. Like he always has a lot of the same actors. And I mean, he's super like iconic. You guys, everybody knows Rob Zombie, but if you don't know Rob Zombie, besides he was in White Zombie and he's a musician, he did the Halloween remake that brought Halloween back, which is like an amazing thing. And just the fact I actually own a copy of the movie, so now I'm gonna have to go back that I know you and go back and look at it again.
And, Dustin was also in Slash's music video, which from Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yes, and you might like this since you love Hollywood and horror. So Slash, they had it shot on a Universal lot, which was known for their horror films in the day, and it was at the Stage 26 on the Phantom of the Opera set, and supposedly Lon Chaney haunts the place. So
that would be fun.
Yeah, and I'm the only actor in it, and it's they had another great special effects team. And so just because of the way they were shooting, we actually had to shoot out of order. So we ended up like they put all the applications on, and we shot kind of the monstrous pieces that when you see the music video, what she becomes. And then they're like, okay, now we have to get you into the glam. And I have, glue and just all sorts of like, we had to find a shower on Universal Studio lot, and we didn't really like come equipped. So I'm like, me and the makeup artist are like scrubbing with little washcloths, trying to get me, cleaned and fluffed. Oh, it's so it's called You're a Lie, and it's kind of about, I imagine.
Go on YouTube, everybody, and Google it. Also, because we only have a minute, like a minute.
I want to say something before. When you guys come to Palm Springs, I'll make a nice Italian dinner for us.
Oh,
all right. I love Italian food.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a good cook too. You'll like it.
I bet.
So, fantastic.
We'll have
so
some
you guys can follow them on Instagram. Dustin's Instagram is at Dustin Quick, DustinQuick, and Medi M's is at Medi MEDI.EM. For Medi M. So you guys follow them on social media. Check out all their stuff. Also, Dustin's in Mansion of Blood, which we've had everybody in that on our show.
Yeah.
Terry Moore is in that movie.
Terry's a good pal of mine.
Robert Picardo, John Barrymore, Tyrone Power Jr., which we met at a restaurant a couple years ago.
know
Ray Quiroga, who I'm doing a movie with, and Gary Busey, you guys. And also Die Like Lovers, we talked about, and Vape Wars, which we had Donna Lee Heising and David Lockhart and Scott Schwartz and Isaac Singleton all on our show. So we know them all.
And I think Terry Moore is turning 98 years old. I have to call her and find out. Yeah, Terry Moore has been around for a long time.
Well, fantastic.
Love it.
We'll bring our guitar and hip shaking dance music. And
there we go.
Good. We'll have a
It'll
party.
be perfect. We'll have a party.
Make a party.
So you guys, thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations on all your sex. We think you guys are great. We'll see you soon. Everybody in the chat room, everybody listening, thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you next week, everybody. Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Sunlight can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix.
Yeah, we in the mix, it's another episode. Here we go, the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes, download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast, while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Now get a sausage McMuffin, sausage biscuit, sausage burrito, or hash browns. Choose 2 for $2.50. Enjoy a large iced coffee for just $2. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.